All right, so you have an image that you want to blend to a background, and you want to create a realistic shadow for this guy. So I imported him as a smart object. So we have our background and we have this little boy right here, and I want to create a realistic shadow, not just drawing or brushing anything. So what we are going to do is you duplicate this. You can use the shortcut Ctrl J, or you can just right click and go to duplicate layer. Yeah, it's up here, and go to duplicate layer. If you use that, it still works, but we'll just go with Ctrl J. So you just do Ctrl J on your keyboard and you have a copy up here. So what we are going to do, since I imported this as a smart object, I'll prefer we make it a rasterized layer. So you just right click and go to rasterized layer, and then you come down here and go to effects, color overlay, and then you make sure it's black or maybe dark gray, but I'll go with black, and then just hit OK. And then once we're done with that, you can bring it behind the original. Do you get? So if I do Ctrl T and see it's here, but it's behind the original. So I'm going to cancel that. So now what we're going to do is the perspective. So you go to edit and go to perspective warp. And then once you click and drag, now this is what you have to do. First, you have to select the perspective, the original perspective. You can use this perspective warp for several other things, but for this purpose, you're just going to select the layout. So this is the original layout of the perspective. And then now you're going to click on warp. So now once you try to use this, Photoshop is going to show you a guide. So it's going to explain everything, but basically if you just follow everything I'm doing here, you're going to get it perfectly. So you can close this. So once we've clicked warp, we can now adjust the points based on our perspective. Now if you look at this guy, from his face it shows you that light is coming from this angle from the left side, so you can just adjust the perspective. So look at the legs, can adjust this a little. So just do it as much as you can. You can try to be as accurate as you can. So once you see that, you can see that our shadow is already looking so realistic. So now if we zoom in, you see it has hard edges. So if you're comfortable with this, you can move on, but let's make it a little bit more realistic. So we'll go to, with this our shadow layer, we can double click and rename it shadow, so that you don't try looking for the layer, especially when you are dealing with a lot of layers. So the next thing we are going to do is to add Gaussian blur. So you go to filter, you go to blur, go to Gaussian blur. So you can use a blur radius of 4. If you click here, you're going to see a preview. So you can see I prefer going with 4 or 5, so it softens the edges. So you click OK. Now the next thing, we are going to add a layer mask to this, and then we're going to select the gradient tool. Now all these ones are extra steps. If you're comfortable with this, you can move on. So but you can select the gradient mask, ensure that your foreground color is black, then go up here and ensure you select the foreground to transparent blur effect. So you, with your mask selected, you just drag, so it's going to like fade out some parts of your shadow. Do you get? So once you've done that, you can reduce the opacity a little to like 60. And now if you're dealing with a kind of design where you have to like move all the layers around, or all the objects in your artboard, you can just select the shadow and the original image, right click and link them together, so that even if you move just this guy, the shadow follows. Do you get? So even if you scale him down, the shadow follows. You want to make him a miniature human, the shadow follows. You increase it, the shadow follows. Do you understand? Right, so even if we make it like this, the shadow follows. So basically, it just makes it look so cool. Do you understand? So that's it for today's tutorial. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.